Does anybody remember playing Fallout 3 back in 2008 when it first came out? Fallout 3 was one of those games in the early 2000s that really resonated with me. It was the third one in the franchise. I had never played the first two, like most people that played Fallout 3. Didn't even know Fallout 1 and 2 even existed. But the first time I played this game, I was completely blown away by the aesthetic, by all of it. It was such a crazy experience to go through. I mean, we had seen Oblivion and GTA, so I wasn't really completely new to open world games, but this game does it a little different than its predecessors. So let's start with the open world. Much like Oblivion, the entire map of Fallout is covered in POIs, or points of interest, and not everything is marked, making you kind of feel like you need to explore. But one thing it does different from Oblivion is it uses real-life points of interest, like the Washington Monument, for example. There's always been one thing that disappointed me about Fallout 3 as far as that goes, is there is no White House. I don't know why they couldn't fit the White House. I looked it up on the wiki. They said they didn't have time, but you would think if you were going to make a game about DC, the White House would be like the first location you make. But anyway, like Oblivion, Fallout has random encounters to make their world feel more alive, but the difference between the two games is Fallout has a lot of random encounters. Every time you open the door into the wasteland, you might see a wastelander being chased by a rad scorpion, the outsiders fighting a deathclaw, or maybe it's the Talon Company coming to take you out. And of course, there's way more than that. I'm not going to name them all, but you get the gist. Next, let's talk about the beginning of the game. The beginning of this game is one of the most memorable beginnings to a game I've ever played. It starts off with your birth, and then your childhood in the vaults, and then skips to where you escape the vaults. I'm not going to go into plot too much, but when you first step out of that vault into the wasteland, you realize I am alone. Now, the game does have a main quest line that kind of holds your hand a little bit, but the great thing about Fallout is you don't have to do that quest. You can skip. If you already know where your dad is, you can just go there instead of doing all the stuff in Megaton or going to the GNR building. You can just go and do whatever you want. It's your adventure. That's one of the things I really love about this game. If you want to just go aimlessly exploring, you can do that, and you can still wind up beating the game. And Oblivion's pretty similar to that. The only difference is you can't really skip steps in a quest. It's a little less chaotic. Now let's talk about the karma system. The karma system is a little different in Fallout than it is in Oblivion. In Oblivion, you had fame and infamy. Basically, if you did good quests, the good guys would like you and have more quests for you. If you did bad quests, the good guys would hate you and the bad guys would have more quests for you. It was simple and straight to the point, but it did its job. It felt like you were having an effect on the world. But in Fallout, things are a little different. We have good, neutral, and evil. Fairly similar, but 3 instead of 2. But where these two games diverge is Fallout has a way of really making you question whether or not the good thing to do is the good thing to do. The game is very ambiguous. It makes you question your morality. Sometimes what you think is the best thing for everybody might be the negative thing karmatically in the game. And a great way the game handles it is you're not stuck with your choices forever. If you did a bunch of bad stuff in the beginning of the game, you can actually work your karma back up and become a good person through quests and just donating water to the homeless. So anyway, that was my Fallout 3 nostalgia video. Thanks